Hello, welcome back to the Voice of Mzansi. Today's news is something that's already making waves across the country. The South African government is officially in talks with neighboring countries to deport thousands of foreign prisoners currently serving time in our jails. These discussions are already underway and could change the shape of our prison system. Make sure to watch till the end so you can hear the full breakdown and the sources of the news for yourself. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Voice of Mzansi so you don't miss any updates that matter to South Africans. Over the past few weeks, officials from the Department of Correctional Services and the Department of Home Affairs have been sitting down with representatives from countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, and Eswatini. The goal is to start deporting foreign nationals who are currently in South African prisons, especially those convicted of serious crimes. Estimates suggest this could affect over 10,000 people across different provinces. The government says the move is not about xenophobia or targeting foreigners for the sake of it. Instead, it's about easing overcrowding, reducing costs, and helping countries take responsibility for their own citizens. Some of these prisoners have been involved in violent crimes, syndicate operations, and drug trafficking, and officials believe it would be better if they serve the rest of their sentences in their own countries under their home justice systems. Right now, prisons in provinces like Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal are running far over capacity. Inmates are sleeping in corridors and shared spaces, and rehabilitation programs are stretched to the limit. The Correctional Services Department believes that deporting foreign prisoners could make space for South African inmates and help improve living conditions inside the prisons. It also allows South African authorities to focus on rehabilitation that benefits our communities directly. The plan includes formal agreements between governments where a prisoner can be safely transferred back home without skipping their sentence. Some neighboring countries have reportedly agreed in principle, with Zimbabwe and Mozambique said to be the most cooperative so far. But it's not as simple as putting people on buses and dropping them off at the border. The agreements would have to include sentence continuation, legal handovers, reintegration support, and oversight to prevent reoffending. However, this announcement has already raised concerns. Human rights organizations say it's important to make sure all transfers happen legally, with consent, and with proper representation. Some prisoners have families in South Africa, including children born here. Others have built lives over many years, even if they never had the right documentation. For them, being deported mid-sentence could feel like a second punishment. Legal experts are also watching closely. South Africa is a signatory to international conventions that require fairness and due process in how prisoners are treated. They warn that mass deportation could lead to lawsuits or even international criticism if it's not handled carefully. Questions are also being asked about what happens after deportation. Will the prisoners be locked up again? Released into society? Or monitored by their home governments? Back home, South Africans are reacting with mixed feelings. Some community leaders say this is long overdue. They argue that our prisons are full of people who came to South Africa, broke the law, and now expect to be looked after at the cost of taxpayers. Others, however, are worried this could be a political move to shift focus away from the failings in our criminal justice system. There's also fear that if prisoners are dumped across borders with no plan, they could simply find their way back through our porous borderlines. Government spokespeople insist that this is a well-coordinated, humane process. No one will be sent back without proper documents, case files, and arrangements for them to serve their time in full. Home Affairs has also promised to monitor these cases after deportation through regional networks and security collaborations. According to them, this is about restoring order, respecting the justice system, and giving prisons a chance to function properly. All the images used in this video are purely for illustration purposes. The information in this report is based on statements from the Department of Correctional Services, Home Affairs, regional diplomats, legal advisors, and verified media coverage. You are encouraged to check with those official channels to verify the news yourself. What do you think about this move by government? Should foreign prisoners be deported to their home countries to complete their sentences? Or should they stay and serve time in South Africa's correctional system? Let us know in the comments. If you found this useful, please like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to Voice of Mzansi for more updates that affect real South Africans. And just before you go, here's a little joke to leave you smiling. Why did the inmate bring a suitcase to jail? Because he heard he was going on a trip to cell block C. See you next time.